Okay, we're at Contemporary Math, Unit 2A. And this unit starts off with talking about the three-step problem solving process. There's a big chart on page 72 that explains each one of these steps. And the steps are to understand, solve, and explain. So obviously you need to understand, first of all, what information the problem is giving you, what it's asking for, and understanding how to go about solving it. So then you solve, and then what I would consider one of the most important steps is being able to explain your solution, why you did what you did. So let's just jump into an example. So the question is, how far is a light year? Well, the fact that it's asking this question, I know that my answer is going to be a distance. So the answer will have units such as miles or kilometers. So what I need to know is, what is a light year? And we know that a light year is the distance that light travels in 1 year. And then we need to know how fast it travels. And it travels 300,000 kilometers per second. Kilometers per second is written like that. And then I also need to know, or in your case, hopefully just remind you what the distance formula is. Distance equals rate or speed times time. So 1 light year equals the speed of light times 1 year. But notice that we have a consistency, inconsistency with our units. We have kilometers per second versus a year. So we need to do what we call unit analysis, and that's what the next 2 units are going to be covering, is unit analysis. So this may look really complicated, but I'm going to explain it. Okay, so 1 light year is 300,000 kilometers per second. I'm going to multiply that by 1 year. I just put it over 1, so everything looks like a fraction. And I know that 1 year is 365 days in 1 year. A day is 24 hours in 1 day. An hour is 60 minutes in 1 hour. And because my speed is kilometers per second, I need something that has seconds in it. So I have 60 seconds equals 1 minute. I want you to notice that year is in the numerator here, it's in the denominator here. There's a reason why I do that, because I need to be able to cross those off. They need to be canceled out. Hours in the numerator here, so it has to be in the denominator here, so those can get crossed off. Minutes is here, so minutes has to be in the denominator, so that can be crossed off. And here's a second, and there's a second, so I need to cross those off. Days will cancel days. And notice that the only thing left on the numerator or the denominator is 1. So I don't even have to consider that. My answer is not going to be a fraction. So if I take everything that's left over, 300,000 times 365 times 24 times 60 times 60, and then the only unit I have left over is kilometers. And remember, I knew I was going to get an answer like this because the question is asking for a distance. So as you can guess, this is a really, really big number. 9,460,000,000,000,000 kilometers is how far light travels in 1 year. And just a reminder for scientific notation, you would write this as 9.46 times 10, and the exponent is how many times you have to move the decimal from here to here. And we can see that that would be 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay. So what we just performed was unit analysis. Keywords that you're going to want to be reminded of. Per implies division, miles per hour. Of, also anything that's usually hyphenated implies multiplication. Squaring something, is raised to the second power. So feet squared mean this is square feet. Anything cubed is raised to the third power. This is cubic feet. And we're going to be doing, in order to do unit analysis, you have to be able to do unit conversions. So here's a really simple example just to get the idea. Let's say I wanted to know 2 feet is how many inches. Well, you guys all know it's 24 inches. But let's say you didn't know that. So I'm going to set this up 2 feet over 1, just so this looks like a fraction. 12 inches is 1 foot. I know that my feet have to be on, I want 1 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator, so they cancel out. And then I multiply what's left over. 2 times 12 is 24. And this is the unit that's left over, so I know the unit is inches. So 12 inches to 1 foot is what we call the conversion factor. And that goes right there. So here's an example that, guaranteed you're going to run into in your real life as an adult. So let's say you have a room that measures 10 feet by 12 feet and you want to buy new carpet. But carpet is not sold by square feet, it's sold by the square yard. And so you want to know how many square yards of carpet you're going to need so you can figure out how much it's going to cost you. So I know that the area is 10 foot by 12 foot, and that equals 120 square feet. Well, I don't want my answer in square feet, I want it in square yards. So I need to do my conversion factor, and 1 square yard equals 9 square feet. And if you need a visual, here's a square yard. That means that it measures 1 yard by 1 yard, but a yard is 3 feet. So this really measures 3 feet by 3 feet, which is 9 square feet. Okay, so we're going to cancel the feet. And what we have left is 120 over 9 square yards. And 120 over 9 is about 13.3. So you would need 13.3 square yards to carpet that room. That's it for 2A. And your assignment for this section is to complete the quick quiz 2A on page 84.